Hey guys, you are on Shrek's Relax channel, and today we're going to play the second Watch Dogs. While the well-off part of the world's population considers the Raisin Watch Dogs Legion, ordinary hard workers play the second one, which they were given for free. I personally was given this game 2 weeks after I logged into my Uplay account, and I created it at the time when they were distributing Assassin's Creed Unity after NOOOO event. So, in the game we will deal with hacker attacks today. I will show you how to win them with a high probability. And here is our first goal, apparently the owner of the realm, because it stinks for 150 meters. This is a good enough location for hacking, because there are enough people and foliage. My tactics are based on human inattention and a habit of casual games. I would call this tactic the sinister bush. The idea is to start hacking, then leave the center of the area that appears and hide in the bushes. You will not be able to stand in the bushes, because you will stick out of any bush. So you need to sit in the bush. There are 2 ways to do this. The first method is to hide behind the shelter while in the bush. Such a place is not always easy to find, most often it is bushes near buildings or large flower pots that you can climb. This method is not suitable for open spaces. The second method is to control a jumper or drone, in which case our character lands on the ground. This way you can hide in forests or parks, but there is one drawback, your laptop screen lights up. So in the dark, you'll probably get burned. And our first victim didn't even think to run up to us. I might as well have just sat around the corner. Usually, the search is much more active. Let's see how our second goal behaves. I accidentally pressed the wheel twice and didn't have time to think of a way to escape. Okay, let's get out of it. Yeah, here the first bush behaves like a bush, and the others are just rocks, so they even have different textures. We don't even have anything sticking out, and even if it did, it wouldn't be critical. People mostly react to movements in this cocked state, rather than to possibly lagging textures. Or perhaps the NPC hid in the bushes, which was frightened by shots or explosions there. They didn't find us again. A good way to avoid getting burned when driving a car is to hold down a control key. In the flow, it slows you down to the movement of cars controlled by the NPC, but if there are no cars around, this button stops working. People who perform tasks are easier to break than just running around the map. They have something to lose. They do not mind if they are hacked, but they will not have to break away from the mission. Oh man, lol, he didn't burn us down. But the bushes still need to be found urgently. Slightly skipped while the enemy was running around at the other end of the circle, and found a great place. Burned or not? Burned. The timing suck. Did you know that breakable hackers don't take damage from breakers? In other words, it's useless to get into a fight after you've been scanned. But he can be killed by bandits, police and the environment. During the time that it will respawn, you will win 10% of the data download and will be able to change the shelter if anything. We were thrown into the same place, and now we know where to hide. So, this bush doesn't cover us enough, we will change the position. I released a quadrocopter, and now you can watch the laptop screen in the bushes. From the ground it is much more noticeable. In the absence of tall buildings, people rarely look up, so even a glowing drone remains without a touch of paint. Here, a person can only rely on their eyes. There are no people or cars around, there is no one to scan. Now we have one. See? He doesn't take any damage at all, it just sidles up to us and that's it. It is clear that using crumpled machines to search for a hacker is unacceptable, but a little scratched is quite possible. Police cars can afford to look a little beat up, they are wary, and do not consider. Besides, you never know, maybe these police officers put another player nearby. Our target is among tall buildings with no hint of bushes. I have never been in this place. Oh, stairs to the roof and liquid bushes. Well, quite liquid. What if I changed my suit to dark green? It may be less visible in the bushes. But black is more practical because it allows you to hide better in dark places, even if you just sit or stand in them. And here are the bushes, take a position. When launching the drone, Marcus decided to fall out of the bushes and sit in the air. and he's already here. It is convenient when you can jump from the roof, which your opponent has been climbing for so long. Oh, so it runs clockwise? Shedding. Well, you can do that. Despite the third-person view, the view around the hero model is not that big. You can increase the viewing angle, but then the chances of finding an enemy in the bushes become even less due to the fact that objects are visually decreased. Our next target is moving. If the target moves, we have more options. Where to hide, but less time to react yourself. See bushes, start hacking, then you run to the bushes, but the person will immediately turn around to search, and you are driving behind him. How lucky that he decided to fool around. By the time he gets out of the ditch, we'll be completing the hack. I didn't find any sprawling greenery, but there is some grass behind the fence. Will he notice me here? Well, it was very close. There are also those who start the round in case of loss. This player spent most of the break-in with the police, and by the time of the break-in he was already fig knows where. But the hacking of 2 targets, I somehow sat in the bushes in front of them. And these guys saw me on my laptop. That's what I was talking about. It's not always easy to win, but sometimes it's fun. In addition to what is happening on the screen, once I broke at the film studio, and we jumped from each other over the same long fence, but at 95% he still managed to fill me up. In this game, everything depends on you. You are a hunter here and choose a place to break in, and the person at this time knows that you are looking for him, is afraid, and tries to find you or escape. Sometimes it's a good idea to get into a closed area during a break-in and let more bandits in. But the guards are not happy to see you in this zone, just like any other player. Terrain difficulties are also your allies. Multi-level tracks and parking will not even be able to run around in the time that is given for hacking, not to look at which bush or cart the hacker is sitting behind. Here's the best place to break in: bushes, 4 floors of parking, and an upstairs garden. Here you can find only in that case you'd burn out your quadcopter. You also have distraction tools at your disposal, and you can always launch a drone that will wreak havoc somewhere far away from you. The enemy could run around in circles in the place of hacking, and I was sitting in an open space, but I caused such chaos in the middle of the road that the person simply did not even think about what we were doing remotely. By the way, all is not lost if your drone is detected. The enemy may stupidly not have enough time to get you. The player is on the roof, and we are in the bush almost a block away, and there is nothing left to pump. Some people start killing everyone, but only doom themselves to problems in the future, and either stop looking for us or die, buying for us a lot of time. I already said that roofs are your friends. You can drag out time indefinitely and jump anywhere, and even if it is obvious where you were a second ago, you need to spend time to scan you. Strange, but opponents very rarely use drones, although why climb on the roof yourself? Besides, if we know where the enemy is, we don't know where their device is. In any case, the game provides many opportunities for hide-and-seek, but unlike street hide-and-seek, you are unlikely to know the area. And in general, this is the only PvP entertainment in which you can find someone to play with. See you soon.